Hello everybody, welcome to today's market updates. Normally we would have our Friday live stream, but we were having some technical difficulties with that, so we're just going to stick to our market update today. Our invite giveaway ends next Wednesday, so don't miss out on your chance to win 150 USDT. You can check that out on the Discord. And as always, thank you to BitGET. You can sign up in our link below in the description for 20% off trading fees for life. Crazy discount that can save you a lot of money over years of trading. So looking at our analysis here, we always like to start with our higher time frame analysis, looking at the weekly chart on BTC. I drew out this red zone a really long time ago. And I basically said I expect us to range in this red zone for a period of time before eventually breaking down. And we can see nearly to the dollar, we rejected from the high of the red zone, and nearly to the dollar bounced from the bottom of the red zone. So we can see that this is a really nice area to put in some range trading. And eventually, essentially just range back and forth in this zone and eventually break down towards, a 31, 32K or a 24, 25K zone later in the year. So far, so good on our higher time frame plan. Taking a look at BTC on some lower time frames here locally on the chart. Ultimately, what was I looking for here? Initially, it was some kind of a deviation of range lows. And then I talked about, being that we're so close here that we'd look a little bit lower, and we wound up sort of front running those lower levels, getting this really nice deviation after hugging the range lows here. So we can see that we broke back into the channel. I'm essentially going to be looking for some kind of a long setup where we simply either, there's two setups, right? Ideally, I would love to long this zone here, which is a back test of the bottom of the channel, confirm it as support, and then trade it to range highs, right? I don't think that that's going to happen. I think it's more likely that we hold the value area low of the range. And, what happens over the weekend is we simply range sideways. Sunday night or, at some point after CME opens, we sweep the weekend lows and go ahead and reclaim the val. And, for me, that would be a signal to go long and simply trade it up to range highs, taking a take profit at the point of control as well. And then from there, we go back to our original short plan from the start of the week, which is to take out this high here, tap the value area high as well as range highs, do some kind of a sweep and deviation of this level here, and then look to trade it back down to range lows, potentially even a little bit lower if we're given that opportunity. So that's what I'm going to be looking for on BTC over the weekend and going into next week. Taking a look at Ethereum, again, reclaiming the upwards channel that it's been trading in for a very long time. Again, same with BTC. Like, I just don't feel like that these lows are the actual lows, and I could see some kind of a sweep in the coming weeks. So for me on Ethereum, I'm just going to sit on my hands. I'll continue to look for more setups and maybe something more locally going into next week. But overall, I still am interested in longing like somewhere in this zone on a sweep of either just these low, on either a sweep of this low or even this one, looking for some kind of a long position to trade back to the upside here. Lastly, I'd like to take a look at Solana. Solana really, I'm a little salty on Solana. I called a long quite some time ago that I was looking for here. I said this weekly SR is a really nice zone to long. If we just go ahead and take a look, you can see it was support, broke down, resistance here, and this would be like a perfect back test of the level. And we can see it was an exactly perfect back test of the level. Going down to lower time frames. So I was looking for a long position here, and I remember looking at these lows like on a 15-minute chart and thinking, I don't really like the way that they look. I'm not going to open up a long position, even though I said I would when price reached here. Obviously, it's a bummer I didn't because, I missed out on a 17% move to the upside. But here's kind of like locally what happened here and like what we're looking for, like this was a really key SR flip zone. It hit that long area to pretty much to the dollar, like what we were talking about. But we can see here, like this was all support, deviation reclaim support, breakout to the upside, right? And so this is all very technical, and it all looks very, very good, right? Last night I closed the rest of my short. We did catch a really nice short scalp that hit to the target, basically perfectly to the target. And I decided to close it because I was seeing a lot of buying power going in here that would be subject to a breakout, not only of this back inside of this channel, but also of this trend line here. And so I really, I'm not interested in shorting Sol whatsoever. I'm very confident that we'll probably be seeing around these, 104 levels back at the midline again, in not too much time. Now, as for, catching some kind of a long setup, again, we'll have to look at something maybe a little bit more actionable going into next week for our Monday's live stream. But ideally, of course, I would love some kind of a back test, but the odds of that happening, I think, are very slim. It's probably just going to continue grinding towards the upside, maybe even just over the weekend. So I'm going to sit on my hands for now and simply wait and look for the next setup on Solana. But the plan played out perfect, just as I described, right? Support, deviation to our SR level, reclaim, breakout. Unfortunately, I did miss that trade, even though we had the plan for it. So it is what it is. We'll go ahead and look to move on to the next one. So from there, we'll go ahead and end our market update here. Again, stay tuned for our Monday live stream. We'll go through and we'll do some deep dive analysis and look at where we can catch some positions here on this breakout and where we can look to short some other assets as well. So as always, guys, thank you for joining me for today's market update. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the Discord, and take some time to enjoy your weekend. The charts won't be going anywhere, and we'll be back on Monday.